Hello, everyone, and I hope you're all doing well. My name is Tanner Dagenais, and I'm the host of Self-Sabotage Solutions. On this podcast, it's my opportunity and my pleasure to be able to have other people come on, share their self-sabotage stories, because it's so important that we know that no matter what we've been through, no matter what, we've experienced, no matter who we are, that we can all overcome self-sabotage. And so I'm very excited, very grateful, and humbled to have one of my really good friends, Christopher Cirrone. I've known him since elementary school. He's a really good guy. He's a father, and he's actually worked with me as well. And overall, I'm just super excited for you to come on and share your story. You've come so far. You've really, taken your life to the next level and, overcome a lot. And I'm excited for you to be able to kind of look back on that, like, wow, look where I am now. So thank you so much for coming on, Chris.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, Tanner. And it's crazy how far I came because right now, I feel great. I'm happier than ever. I used to get panic attacks. I don't get panic attacks anymore. I used to just feel all this guilt and shame. I don't feel any of that. And I just broke out of crying out of nowhere. I beat myself up a lot. And I feel great today. And it's wild how far I came. And I used to before I saying all this before I entered the void, like I used to think really bad about myself, carry all this guilt, suicidal thoughts, and I was just and I've been in dark places, and it's crazy how where I am at today from what I felt in the past. And I think I started self-sabotaging when I was in high school. I think just a little taste. I missed 111 days of high school, and that's because I have the opportunity. It would be 2006. My parents lost their house, so they went through a divorce. My brothers live with my dad. I live with my mom, and it gave me more like a opportunity to just kind of do what I want, because I had friends over. I left in the middle of the day. I hang out with a bad crowd. Not the right people to hang out with. Like my house, the apartment living in high school became a hideout for the friends I was hanging out with. And it just got worse from there. And that was just junior year. And we would do a lot of drinking and smoking, and it would be more leaning towards the toxic pleasures of life, instead of like staying in school and learning and adapting. Like I got in a routine, like, oh, I don't feel like going to public speaking, I'm gonna go home. I'm not feeling this. I don't want to do this speech, or I'm not a big fan of language arts. I'm gonna go to lunch in this time period or this class period and head home. And it was just, I created a horrible routine for myself. And when my mom and dad got back together and we had to move, and the only school that would take me was in Federal Heights. And that was because I had the graduation requirements, and another school wouldn't accept me because I was missing 111 days. Wow. And I had sheets that were like, you hang out with friends that had paraphernalia and a travel mug, and it's like, we don't want students like you in our school. And I was like, oh wow, like me, wow. So that kind of made me self-reflect a little bit. And I was just, I knew I was doing the wrong things. And when I transferred schools, that kind of made me realize, like, it was to a suburb school, Chaparral, to a low class school in Federal Heights. And it was totally a different dynamic. And I was like, I made this for myself, even though my parents would go through their hard times. They made through theirs, and now there's a school that only accept me. And my dad was surprised he heard that I was missing 111 days of school. Like, what the hell? How did that happen?
Yeah.
Anywho, but moving forward after high school, I got a job as an apartment maintenance tech. I've been doing it for 12 years. During that time period, I got someone pregnant, and I'm trying not drop name drops. I'm trying not to. I got a friend pregnant in high school, and I didn't manage that well because I was young and it was new to both of us. And so at the same time, I had to go to school, and then I had my daughter was being born at the same time, and then me and her was going through our hard times because I cheated on her while she was pregnant, and that wasn't okay. That's self-sabotage right there,
Yep.
you know. But um, it just it was, I was Christopher, but uh I made it out. So we got an apartment together, as me as a maintenance technician, and it didn't work out with me and the mother because I was lingering. All that drama in high school was lingering, and we broke up. We separated. Now I'm a single father with a 2-year-old, trying to strive and living on my own. And I want to say I successfully did that really well, staying in the industry, committing. I lived on my own since I was 18. I hung on to that job very well. Then I started working at DoubleTree as a chief engineer. And let's see, self-sabotaging moments. I have another one. Oh, so this is a lot of a lot of toxic relationships. It's really what towards me. So I was very successful in my career path, was really focused, determined. Um, um, After the DoubleTree, I mentioned the hotel, I transferred working in the apartment industry, and I knew a lot of people. I'm very social, very charismatic. And one day, it was my birthday, and I had a bad day. And it's because I had an English supervisor that was my roommate. So it's a really just muddy situation. It was just it's just drama at work. But anywho, I left work to meet this girl. I didn't meet the girl. I left work to go to McDonald's. Yeah. I left work to go to McDonald's to get some food. Gross. And when I walked in there, I saw this girl smiling at me. And I was like, the way she smiled at me is so cute. And it's like, I'm going to actually sit here and actually enjoy this meal. And she was doing her little ground sweeping by, and she smiles me back. So I chat her up, like, what are you doing? What's your name? What's your sign? What are you doing here? And we just started hanging out. And I felt like there was something off. I wasn't sure, but I'm just a nice guy, so I just give people the opportunity and chance. Too nice of a guy, and I get there quick. We started dating, and like, she was a very sweet girl, and I didn't even see it coming. She was a very sweet girl, very kind, very polite, very shy. I was like, okay, cool. And she was like, I have a court date coming up, this and that. For this incident, I bit someone's hand. I was like, you bit someone's hand? That's weird. It's like, yeah, it's for self-defense. Okay, sure. So it was weird that me and her had the same court date. I had a car accident I had to go to a court date with. So me and her went together. So when I was done with my court, I went into her courtroom, and I noticed she's on the back side of the bench. And I'm like, that's weird. Why is she on that side? What the heck? And she's reading this yellow piece of paper, and she throws it. And then she stares at the cop and she was like, what the fuck you looking at? You want to go? And I was just like, whoa, wow, no way this is happening. Like, this is happening. And then she got out of the control. People, the police went in the courtroom, restrained her. She went into the hallway of no return. And I got up and left. And my dad picked me up. And he's like, so what happened? Where's Justina? And I was like, she got arrested. I don't know. I don't know what happened. And they're like, well, that's weird. So the good guy I was, honestly, right there was a red flag for me. I should have just disappeared and just stayed away because it got worse from there. I was too nice that I thought that I would be able to help them. Like, I don't, like, she seems so nice and innocent. I can help this woman. So I made the time to see her when she was in jail over Zoom, and then got hold of family members to get hold of money to bail her out. And I bailed her out. And honestly, the relationship just got worse from there. Knowing me, I like to travel. I brought her to Vegas. She's I'm not a drinker, but she was it just was a horrible time in Vegas. Very domestic and verbal, and just she pushed me down marble stairs because because I smelled like fish. And yeah, she was assuming a lot about me. It was a delusional behavior. And I sticked around her, and I don't know why, even after the Vegas trip. And she was like, hey, I'm sorry that I've been acting crazy. I need to talk to you. I was like, okay, what's going on? It's like, I struggle with schizophrenia. I was like, oh, well, wow. Okay, well, I'm sure that we can work around that. That's okay. I'm not a psychologist, but that was the challenge because that was just a really hard challenge. She couldn't drive. So I was like, okay, I can help her drive. I can help her overpass this. I'm gonna sell my nice car to get a car that she wants. I told her, what car you want? I always wanted a purple Jeep. I was like, okay, well, we got a blue Jeep. We signed the lease. She had income. She had income she didn't care about. It was and this was like my mistakes. Like, I see all these red flags and I'm tying myself into it, trying to help and improve her credit and my credit. It's like, okay, she gets these social security benefits every month. It was $600. She's like, I don't care about this money. I was like, well, get the car of your dreams. And that's when that Jeep came in. So we went to the car dealership. We put money down on it, and that became pain and suffering. That was honestly like a bold-on mistake. She had made up with the payments, but then it was turned into, it was either if you break up with me, I'm not paying for this Jeep. I don't want it, or it was hold over me. And I did that to myself. It became a very horrible, toxic relationship. I was like, I don't want the Jeep. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want it. She's like, well, you can't leave me. I'm staying here, yada, yada. And I manifest this plan. I was like, I want to get out of the situation. I don't want, like, I can't believe I let her move in with me. Mm-hmm. And I wish I knew what time period that was. But anywho, she was there and I didn't want her there anymore. I was like, what can I do to get out of this situation? I figured maybe if I take my meds, my bottle of my meds, that she'll panic and call 911. And she did. I was like, I want out of here. I don't care. I took my whole bottle of my meds. She freaked out, called 911. And I figured that someone would pick me up or bring me to a behavioral health center and I would get away. And during that time period, I had friends that she right after that happened, she got out of my apartment. She left. She was scared. She didn't want to be alone there. So she had another place to hide out at. So in the meantime, I had a friend of mine that threw her stuff out. So while I was facilitated while I checked in, and now I'm in this behavioral health center. I'm hanging around cheerfully, and they thought that was weird. Like, you're like the happiest guy here. Like, everybody here is like unhappy. Like, what are you doing? Like, I got up early to watch, like, it was the Holy Grail, something, the Holy Grail. It was a hilarious comedy
Oh
movie.
yeah, Monty
Yeah.
Python.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was it. That was up like I was up at 6 a.m. and I watched that, got chocolate milk, and I was like, this is a great time. And we had to take our classes during that time period. And another horrible move I did, like just getting out of a relationship or wanting to get out of one, I bump into this girl in the facility. And I was like, this girl, it's like she has the same enthusiasm as me. I was like, she's happy, she's outgoing, like she seems positive, and she has like she had a lot of sad stories, but I didn't believe it. I didn't see that. I was like, she's, but but I was like, I picked up on her, and I hanged out with her. I talked to her as a friend. There was a, like, in those facilities, it was like, don't don't give out names, or don't give out numbers, or addresses, or any of that info, or don't hold hands. Like, it was very strict, which of course, but like we ended out exchanging numbers anyways when we left, and then I got into that relationship, and that relationship started off as a roommate situation. So the girl I met in the behavioral health facility is now my roommate. And I moved apartments. So I know I got out of the facility. And once I got out, I asked my manager, I want to transfer because I had this crazy girl living with me and I don't want her to know where I live. So I transfer and I bring someone that was from my behavioral health center move in with me that was as a roommate. So that worked out. That was fun as a roommate. Like, honestly, to be honest, it didn't work out because roommates usually pitch in for rent and utilities and stuff, and that didn't happen at all. It was
Wow.
just I just wanted her to live with me because I liked her. I was like, yeah, you can live with me, and she didn't get a job until later, and even when she had a job, I didn't get any kind of um, help financially or any help. I paid for the utilities, the rent, I paid for everything. Um, it was, let's see, this roommate situation probably only lasted for 4 months. And then her birthday hit in August, and she was like, I want us to be engaged. Like, I want us to be together, but I don't want to call it a boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't like it. This scares me. It needs to be fiance. And I still have a nice guy. I was like, yeah, sure. I never had a fiance. I can roll with that. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Nice guy. Total nice guy. I went out and bought a ring, and I proposed to her for her birthday. And she was really happy about that. Very stoked. And then 2 weeks came by. 2 weeks came by, and I proposed. So the way I proposed, was in a car, was a parking lot in front of a Kohl's. But what was cool about that at the parking lot was after I proposed, a rainbow showed up. So I thought that was really cool. But it wasn't the proper way to propose. So she gave the ring back to me. And I was like, I wasn't really butthurt. I was like, okay, that's cool. You're not ready. You were just like excited in the moment. It's cool. I get it. It's whatever. Um, it became a very weird obsession, like that TV series You. I feel like she was looking through, and it was weird because I had another phone in my safe that was like linked to the messages on my phone because that phone still worked. It's like I
Right.
had two phones, a media phone, another phone that worked. You can see my emails and messages, and you can see everything. So after she gave that ring back, she did like a deep investigation through my email and my Facebook Messenger, everything media, Instagram, everything I liked, followed, whatever it was. And I felt like I was on walking on eggshells, and I was being shamed for a lot of things I was doing. I was being like shamed, like, how dare you did this back in 2017, or how dare you lie to me about this when you actually did cheated once before. Like, just example, like my own personal, like, I was being judged by my own personal history of what she found out of what she discovered. And it's that's only, of course, that's only my business. And it was a lot of gaslighting. That relationship had a lot of gaslighting, and where it affected me at work, and I couldn't even like be myself at work. I was I was being judged by my tattoos and like on my skin, and all this was going through my mind, like, am I really good at my job? Like, can I really do this okay? And they let me go because there was an idea of selling a couch for money that was left in a vacant. And I posted that on Facebook, and they're like, hey, you're not allowed to do that, we got to let you go. I was like, okay. um so me and Hannah, we decided to take that opportunity to move to near her university, her college, to be an esthetician. So we moved to Denver, and I was not I never wanted to move to Denver, and I didn't like Denver, but I did it for her, and regardless of all of what was going on, I did it. And now I'm stuck in Denver with this very strict corporate job, like very strict, like very like tedious. Like I lived where I work.
Mhm.
So they treated me more like a, not even like a resident. Like they treated me horribly. Like, you need a, because with an employees where you live, where you work, you split your rent. They're flexible with your rent. Like, you have to pay your rent on time. You have to take these classes every weekend. You have to keep up with um, a deadline. It was very strict, and I was dreading waking up, going to work. I was hearing just horrible. I kept hearing the same old when I was waking up. Oh, how dare I? How should I? And I came home with the same thing. How dare I? How should I? And it was horrible, where I was in a dark place where, like, I felt like I couldn't get out of this relationship.
Mhm.
I was stuck in Denver. I had no car. I sold my car. I don't even know where that money went after I sold the car. Oh, to help move, is to help the move. And that was right.
Wow.
So I was relying on her car now. Um, and I was like, man, this is very horrible. And she there was, and then she decided to harm herself, and she said I was a narcissist. I'm gaslighting her, and she cut her arm, and I was like, I can't do this. You need to go to your mom's. You need to live with your mom. I need to live with my dad. It's like, oh, you're not being a man. You're giving up on a marriage. Like a real man needs to survive for a marriage, or not go back to their parents or fall back. It was a way to manipulate the situation to keep me staying. It was always like that. It was always like that in this relationship. And when I lost, so the next day, I lost my job because I was working with a female. My coworker is a female, um, and she was very insecure and jealous. She thought I was sleeping with her in one of the units that we were working in, and it's like, no, we can't. She didn't believe me. She really thought I was doing all these things, and she got mad at the manager. You're breaking a HIPAA violation. something about her disability. She had borderline personality disorder,
Mm-hmm.
and that she flipped like a dime. I could not help her or solve that. I helped with, like, I was all the money I invested. I just can't believe all the money I invested in helping these people that really need to help themselves. It blows my mind. Like, I really truly believe, you know what, they just need to be loved. They just never been loved properly. Maybe if I help them with their school or with their gas, or if I do this, what can I do? You know, and I realized today there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. So I lived back with my parents. I got back at my feet. I worked at a property that was very chaotic. I was used to the chaos, and I wanted to challenge myself. I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm out of these relationships. I'm gonna be headstrong in my career, and I decided to take on this property that was 1,207 units, and that was an emergency runner. And once I got the job, the Marshall fires happened in Colorado.
Yeah.
So I had to assist with the evacuation, helping residents evacuate. I enjoy helping people. That's what I enjoy about my job, is helping people in that field, helping the residents evacuate. And then I get home. Now the whole team had to evacuate because it got worse. So now I went back to my parents, and my parents had to evacuate. I'm like, holy crap, everywhere I'm going, I'm evacuating. I'm stressed out. Like, I never been so stressed out in my life. And everything calmed down, nothing burned down. My parents' apartment's fine, my work is fine. Everything was safe. Um, I stayed at that job being an emergency runner, and I fed off. Now I was feeding off this stress that I got adapted to. Like, I wanted to be the emergency runner. When someone didn't want to take the emergency calls, I was like, I'll take the emergency calls, like, whatever. Like, I'm a tough guy. Like, here, I'll take it on. I'm headstrong with it. Took a lot of initiative, but I was burning myself out. I was because there was a lot of irresponsible, addicted personalities on property. A lot of the employees were like, one was addicted to cocaine, another one was addicted to mushrooms, another one was just an alcoholic. It's like you had different, like, parts of the team. It was a group of 15 people, and you have all these different people that have these different addictions. And I'm here taking initiative, being an emergency runner, because they're dealing with their own issues. And I'm managing that chaos. And then I was slowly going back into the rabbit hole, because I'm surrounded with these addicted personalities. I'm being swamped with the emergency. I'm being relied on to be there. There was a lot of weight on me, where when things got to the manager let me take care of it. And it was when I heard that, I was like, man, I am being really used and abused. I am too much of a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just I put in my 2 weeks. I found a job as a supervisor. I was like, listen, I want to take this opportunity to be a supervisor. I want to grow. I can't be here. The employees are an issue with their drug addictions. The emergencies becoming an issue, and they were trying to keep me to stay. It's like, here, we'll give you a $4 raise, and this is the best for you and your daughter. And I was like, this is not the best for me and my daughter. It's like, she don't even have her own room. You guys gave me the only thing that was available, and it was a 1-bedroom loft. And my daughter was sleeping on a pull-out couch. It's like, this is the best. This is not the best for me and my daughter. It's like, after everything I explained. So they decided to get the ball rolling, trying to satisfy my needs. But the $4 increase would be only $24 an hour. It's like, what I got offered at this job is not even close to that. It's way better. And the stress level at my current job is great.
Mhm.
And I'm happy today. Like now we're talking in present day that I got this job. I'm out of chaos. I'm used to running through emergencies. Always on a hide and flight mode. Like always on. I just and I'm not much of a drinker. I don't drink. I totally skipped that. I had a skull fracture, and I couldn't drink anymore.
Mhm.
So I was a workaholic instead. Um, I was had insomnia. I couldn't sleep. I was waiting for the next emergency call because it was for the money, and it was just for the money, and it wasn't. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. It was putting a toll on my health.
Mhm.
So here I am today as a maintenance supervisor, managing only 107 units, and sober. I don't hang out with anyone toxic. There's no one like I go and visit you. It's South Carolina's fun. I have good friends
Yep.
that I'm surrounded with and I talk to that are give me good positive influence and tools
Mhm.
and advice, and that makes me feel who I am and pure. Like I am now told, and I didn't even think that before because I was in dark places. I'm told like, Chris, you're the bright light in the room. Like I spread my positivity to everyone. And I'm
Mhm.
happy that I make people feel that way. I'm happy that I'm seen as a funny guy. I'm happy that I'm seen as a happy dude. You know, I know that what I don't accept anymore, I don't accept being shamed. I don't accept um, feeling guilty of anything of my own past.
Mhm.
I don't, there's a lot of the things I don't accept now because because of my past and what I've been through.
Mhm.
I know all my red flags. Um, and I'm looking for a mature stability relationship, but I'm a package deal. Me and my daughter, we're a package deal. You know, if you want I'm not looking. Someone's got to want me and my daughter. Someone's got to want me and my daughter. I'm gold,
Yep.
and I know my worth. That's it. So I'm happy and I'm blessed today. And it's crazy that I thought about committing suicide when I lived in Denver, because when I lived in Denver, with that girl that had borderline personality disorder, my perspective, because of all the gaslighting, my perspective of life was shattered, and I didn't know what to do anymore. I was at a complete loss that my lunch was on the top roof of the buildings, and I was like, man, I can really make this fall. I can really like just end it quick. And I wondered to myself, would it be painless though? And then I started looking on the dark web and looking at people falling, and then I started getting sick. That's when I started reaching out for help, when I was looking up those dark things where I was in a dark place. I reached out to you. I reached out to another friend of mine. Um, I am Tanner. The tools you gave me, I'm happy. Like I don't even wake up. I wake up feeling good. I don't even wake up with panic attacks. Ever since I talked to you, no panic attacks, man. It's great. Like I feel great. It's beautiful, and I'm happy to have you as a friend. And I'm I am so relieved and so thankful that I got out of the place, because my life does matter. My life matters, and everybody's life matters, and they might not even think that their life matters in that moment, but it truly matters. It matters so much. So today, since everything I've been through and everything that I put myself through, I'm a big advocate of mental health. I'm starting my own page, Jackalope. It's just comics, brief comics, because I used to interview. Short story, I went to Colorado Media School and I interviewed artists. So I'm used to talking to people, and I want to more lean on more of the mental health concerns. So it's a kind of a strange dynamic I'm putting together with comics. But I want to be more of an advocate of mental health because I know what it feels like to be at a very lost place. And I don't want no one, I want to able to help people get out of that place, because your life matters. Everyone's life matters, no matter what you're going through, you matter, like you are enough. No matter what anybody says, you are. Seriously. Um, yeah. So that's what I'm doing now is the advocating for Jackalope, and I'm getting into the Knights of Columbus. Um, I I have my belief system is just a positive belief system. It's just I believe in a lot of things. Everything's positive, but I'm joining the Knights of Columbus because I like to help my community. I want to help my community. I enjoy helping people. That's just part of me. So I'm doing that to help grill, help barbecue, help serve people, help people with that's in poverty, that has broken down homes, that need help. So that's I'm giving the energy that I'm good at with far as helping people and putting it into places where it needs to be, and not put it into these toxic relationships that are not going to work out. If I put my energy, this giving energy I have into people that need it, and there's a team that needs my energy. Like Chris, we need someone like you. Like help us. Like, oh, you bet, I'm on board. So I'm joining that organization. Happy to be part of that. But yeah, my life is I'm happy to say I'm at peace and serenity with myself. I am happy. No matter what comes my way, like today, I'm happy. Like you can't really bring me down. Like whatever obstacle comes my way, it's like, oh, I'll work with that challenge, or I'll turn that challenge into an opportunity, like whatever it is, like I'll be headstrong and like I'm no matter what's been coming my way recently, I've been feeling good no matter what, and I'm happy that I'm still able to shine around people and in my family, and they still see that I'm good. Like I'm happy that no matter what comes my way, like if it's anything, it's I still have that good energy being myself and not and no one should beat themselves up. But yeah. Um I'm coming to a conclusion that I'm just happy. I'm coming to the conclusion that I'm just really happy today. And I'm shocked I'm very shocked where I was at in the past. I'm very shocked that my brain was really thinking really dark things, that I was really thinking about jumping off a roof. Like, holy cow, I can't believe I was thinking that, and it's just, it's a very hard time. It's hard to believe, and I come a far ways, and I never been this at peace with myself and know what I want. The only thing I want in life right now is just me and my daughter, and that's it. So like now me and my daughter, we take any kind of opportunity to travel, to go out. The most money I spend on now is my daughter. She's girlfriend. I take her out, and I spoil her rotten, and she's the only girl in my life that I'm focused on. There was no other girl in my life that can throw me off my game. They can't. It's what do you call that? Your dog has it, that forever love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's it, man. Like I'm just that's me today. It's just about me and my daughter, nobody else. I love myself. I never loved myself in my life. Like I love myself so much today. Like Chris, you're amazing. You're a great guy. You're like I done silly things, and I ain't gonna beat myself up for it. Take it a day at a time. I am so happy with myself. I am so proud of myself that I came this far and that I'm getting better day by day. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm enjoying the moment of today. It's great. There's no I don't dread my day. I don't break out and cry anymore. I'm just happy, man. I'm just really happy. And what really got in my way was horrible choice of taste of relationships. Horrible taste. But I learned from all that.
Yeah.
Learned from all that. Oh goodness.
Yeah,
But
you've come a long way.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for coming on and share your story, because I think a lot of people, can benefit from your story. I mean, just like I know I've heard the story before. It's really powerful. All the things that you've gone through, and you're still here today. Still striving to be your best self. You've been able to cut out that negative thinking, cut out, the alcohol, cut out the marijuana use, and start really like focusing on yourself. And, get away from those people pleasing tendencies. That's so awesome, Chris.
Yeah, that way too much people pleasing. That was way too much. And I was on the back burner. I kept putting myself on the back burner, and it turned me into unhealthy and a bad place.
Yep. Yeah, but then now you're putting yourself first, putting your daughter first, and it's awesome to see. It's great to see that. And it's for anyone listening, there is a way forward. If you're in a dark place like Chris was, there is a way to get out of it. There is a way to move forward. I think I'm a big advocate about learning how your mind works, because that's you can test this, Chris. It's pretty much a game changer once you start to realize that, hey, I'm not a broken individual. There's nothing wrong with me. That this is just the way my mind works, and I'm just drawn to these things for a reason. And once you can start to make changes, right?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And I recognize these things. And it was looking like a three review mirror. I was like, is this what you want people to see you? Is this what you want your family and your daughter to see you? You know, like a burnout all the time, a stress case all the time. Like upset at work. Like I'll be like, oh, I got another emergency I need to go to. I gotta go. Like, do you really want your daughter to see you like that all the time? No. It doesn't matter how bougie or how nice the property is. It's like you want time with your daughter. Your daughter wants time with you, and she needs your love and attention, and that's what's up. That's what's going on today. So, I hope to have her. She wants to she wants to live with me, so I'm trying to make that happen. And I hope to see that. I would love to see my daughter every day and bring her to school and just be that father. Be the father that wakes up, brings your daughter to school and picks up your daughter. And I think that's like the best job I have is being the father. Like it's the greatest thing. Like it's probably the best thing in my life is being a father. It's the greatest responsibility ever. I love it. I love being a dad.
Yeah.
It's fun being a dad, Tanner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love it too. It is really something special being a dad. You learn a lot. Like you think you're gonna be teaching them all the stuff, but you're learning so much from them.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I'm learning from my daughter. She tells me about like what goes on in school. I'm happy. Me and her have a very great relationship. She's open with me, because I'm not the one to judge her. She wants to express her. She's at the age where she wants to express her style. I'm like, yeah, go express yourself, girlfriend. Go. So we went to the mall and she chose to go to Hot Topic. Like I would not figure she would go to Hot Topic, but she did. And she got like a plaid skirt and like all these other things. I'm like, girlfriend, you're crazy. And I think it's because that Wednesday shows out,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's a big right now. So I think that has a part to play with it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so me and her have a good relationship. She's tells me about like relationships in school and like I'm giving her she's wise. She's a very pure, smart, respectful soul. And I'm so blessed that she and I think it's because I let her watch you with your videos and YouTube, and she's getting the idea, like what's like really right from wrong, like what's the toxic thing, what's a red flag. And I'm happy that she has that emotional intelligence at that age.
Yep.
That what she tells me, I'm like, I'm blessed. I'm happy that she's smart. She's way smarter than me at 12 years old. She's gonna be 13 soon, but that's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild. Like, I think back when like the ages she's at, and I'm like, man, she's really she's over my head. Like she's already in algebra. I didn't even take algebra when I was 12 years old. I don't think I ever took an algebra, to be honest, Tanner. Uh, 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 I wasn't the best at school, as we talked about, but I'm proud that she's doing way better than me in school.
Mm-hmm.
And like I want to just keep that relationship and keep that going, and and let her strive, because she's doing excellent. So um I'm happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yeah,
Just
that's so awesome. So
the
and I totally agree. Like that is amazing. I love to see that. I like I can only imagine if I had the same information that she's learning, or like at her age, like when I was that age, I was like, man, that'd be a game changer. Like I've always thought this information should be taught to everyone. Like, how come we don't know about the
like I'm
subconscious
always
mind,
wondering.
about why we self-sabotage? It's
Exactly.
crazy.
It makes me want to be a counselor at a school, to teach it, like a what do you call it, discipline counselor, or after school detention teacher. Like, you're in detention, I'm going to teach you about the mind. This is why you're doing in the wrong, because I feel like it starts in the schools. Just because I relate to me, and I feel like it really starts in the schools. And I feel like detention teachers should teach stuff like this to the kids that are actually starting to self-sabotage. Like, that's what surprised me, is that they're not teaching this stuff in the school. So that's why it's like I'm teaching it to my daughter.
Yep.
And it's well, because when her friends come and hang out and do the sleepovers, I can like feel the maturity level different. Like, my daughter is above her head, and I'm like, it's different. And it's because she understands the mind and how the mind works, and that's very important to learn. And like, I'm about to be a detention teacher talking about this, and get started. Watch.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
That's so great. You can definitely, the youth need it. Like the youth definitely need that information. So if that's something you're going to go down, or even you going to like do talks or something, or I don't know what other way, but that information is definitely needed out there.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about that.
And good for you giving that out. Good for you. Proud of you, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it changed my life. So, once it changed my life, I was like, people need to know this. People need to know this information.
Absolutely. Thank you for giving the tools, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they need to know, and it's a big thing. And I'm surprised it's not in the school system, but I can talk about that all day.
Yeah.
I should have. I'm gonna have to tell the Knights of Columbus I can't volunteer no more. I gotta. It starts with the schools. Oh shoot.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a whole rabbit hole I could go down with the school system that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, we both been through the school system, so we know like it definitely doesn't lead you down the right path, right? Like they force you to do things you don't want to be doing, to learn things when you're maybe not even ready to do them.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not ideal for sure. Definitely something that needs to change. I think there's a reason why they're not teaching us this information, because they don't really want people to know how they're manipulated, right?
Yeah.
All these, you were talking about how like Wednesday, that show, like your daughter was probably like wanting, because that's exactly how the mind works, right? Like,
exactly.
We both know now, like if you surround yourself with things, that's why it's so awesome that you're starting to surround yourself with more positive people and better surroundings. It does affect you, right? It does. It changes your life, like, and
It plays a
So
big part.
I do have a question though. So when you're going through life now, do you ever have like times when you're like trying, like part of your mind tries to pull you back to those old habits? And what do you do to counteract it?
Man, um, bad habits. I'm trying to think of, like, there's times where a part of me still lives off that chaos.
Yeah.
And I try and keep in mind to just like to be still. Don't thrive off of what a part of your brain is telling you, because I catch it. It's like, because um when I get a sense of that chaos, I do tend to try and lean back on marijuana, try and like ease that stress, that anxiousness. But I tell myself everything's like, you're fine. Like, you're fine, Chris, you're fine. Like, why do you want to cause this stress? Why do you feel like you need to be anxious and stressed? Like, be be happy that there's no emergencies going on. Be happy that you don't have to stress about anything. Like, so be happy that you're still, you don't have to do anything. Be happy about that. Not do anything, but like, my job is, it's a steady paced job. It's not chaotic as my last jobs. And I need to keep that in mind. It's like, just, Chris, be still and be happy. It's great. Life is great, you know? And I tell myself to that. And because I have never came home loving myself so much. Like, I come home, I love being alone. I love the peace and quiet. I love the freedom I have, because I don't miss coming home being shamed or being talked down to. And it's like, and I don't know if it's because I wasn't used to living on my own or what's the case, but um, it it mentally helped me out being alone and not surrounded by any other people. And um, I'm trying to remember a time that I lived alone this long. I don't know, but it's great. It's
Yeah.
great. Can't complain. Life is simple. So yeah, to answer your question, I try and keep in mind. And it's like, there's no need, Chris, because life is, it's, there's nothing to stress about. And I'm happy that life is simple that way, that I made it this far.
Yeah, I
Where,
love that. Or just
and
being more aware of what's going on, right? Like being aware of like, oh, why am I going down this path? Oh, wait,
yeah,
I shouldn't be going down this path. I know what you're trying to get me to go back to.
yeah,
I'm
and it
gonna,
does that. And I
yeah,
don't know why. It was just telling me out of nowhere, like, hey, Chris, time to stress out. And I'm like, why? Why do I need to stress out right now? Because like, work is good, and I'll make a very busy day out of no reason. And then when I start to like make my day into chaos, suddenly I start smoking. And now I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I'm making a chaotic day, trying to fulfill this day, and then I'm making it worse, because I'm like, oh man, I'm so stressed out. I think marijuana is going to help me. No, I'll get like dumbed out, where now I'm like, I'm nervous to I'm nervous to talk to the residents and communicate to my manager. And now I'm more spin out of my mind, cuckoo, cuckoo, and now my day's wrecked. Now my day's wrecked. I'm
yeah.
like, what are you doing? So
Mhm.
now I'm like, stop beating yourself up, Chris. You're beating yourself up and you're making it worse for yourself, smoking pot. Just do what you can today, and the little things can wait until tomorrow. Like, learn to be still and learn to chill, and that's what I'm learning, and I've been practicing that, and it's been very successful. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. So
so it's,
that's what you're
I
working on
watch.
currently to like bring yourself and or so you I know you're working on yourself currently. What things are you doing, beyond that to kind of continue moving forward?
Um, Before I go to bed, I'll watch a stoic video, or a psychology video, or even your videos, and just something positive before I go to bed,
Yep.
or even when I come home, get a little taste of like music. And what I really started to get healthy into is um going grocery shopping and getting bulk foods that will last me for days. Like I made chicken cacciatore, that's gonna last me 4 days.
Yep.
And I'm gonna slow cook this pot roast, that's gonna last me 4 days. And
Nice.
and it only cost me $40 instead of $25 a day on a fast food meal or on a pickup order meal, you know? And
Yep.
I know it's healthy for me because I'm cooking it and I know what's
Hmm.
in it, you know? So like I'm happy about that. So I got a good healthy rhythm going on in my life. It's really good. So
Yeah.
um yeah. So
That's
that's I try and mix it up every night, but it's like I don't want to. Now I'm at the point where I don't want to cook too much food and make it a waste.
mhm.
It's like we can live eating the same thing every other day, or
Yep.
my daughter's cool with it. That's all what matters to me, anyways. But yeah,
That's so awesome. I know that's something you were working on, was starting to go grocery shopping more and
yeah,
make your food. So that's awesome. You've been able to commit to it and
yeah. I
make those
remember
changes.
telling you. Yeah, I thought, oh, it would be cheaper if I just pick up food every day. Like, oh, $20, no big thing. But like if you really look at it, that's you gotta I see $100 bill into quarters. Like 4 quarters make $1, 25 $25 make $100. So if you're spending $25 a day within 4 days, you already spent $100.
Yep.
When I just spent $40, that made a meal that's gonna last me 4 days.
Yep.
That's the big difference that I don't think a lot of people see. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, I make 29 an hour. I can afford a $20 meal today. But until your bills come in and then rent comes in, you're like, oh, I can't afford all this. What happened? It's the fast food you're picking up.
Oh yeah.
That's what happened, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people get in that trap where they're just going out, buying food every single day. I see it at my work at Wells Fargo. People are just always buying like Chick-fil-A, going to the food trucks outside. And here I am always packing my own lunch. And like people look at me like I'm weird. But
Right? They do
it
that. They're
changes.
like,
Yeah.
this is they're like, how dare you go out of routine? Like there are so many great place near us, like Chick-fil-A. How dare you bring your own homemade lunch to work? It's like, you know, back in like the old days or industries, glass of milk, piece of bread, and meatloaf was great. They didn't have Chick-fil-A, I'd rather
Yep.
have a glass of milk, meatloaf, homemade meatloaf, and all that great stuff.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, you're right. It's weird. It's weird that people get surprised when you bring homemade food to work.
Well, people are just going for that short-term thinking, right? Like going for that instant gratification. But I don't want to
Yeah,
make it. I don't have to spend the time on it. And so they just go find something. But
they just wake up, and I don't know what, I don't know what people think about. I'm not a mind reader. I know what I think about when I wake up, but like when I wake up, I need to eat something. I'll have a bowl of cereal, or I'll crack an egg and make some bacon and throw some toast. It's I wake up an hour early to meditate, to
mm,
know like what's my day gonna be, to plan out my day, to so I can start my day meadow and not walk into work stressed, chaotic, late. Just like with my favorite water bottle I carry everywhere, and my clipboard, and like, okay, I'm full, game on. Well, let's get the ball rolling. And I don't think people make time for breakfast,
mhm.
and that's why they fall into this trap where they get to work all stressed, trying to beat traffic, and then, oh, I'm just gonna have Chick-fil-A for lunch and not
Mhm.
gonna bring meal cook for myself, or my wife didn't pack me a lunch. How dare she? Whatever these.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, and I like your point also about like, like when you're making your own food, what's in there, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things in this food that people don't realize is really in the food. And it has an effect on you. Like once you started making your own food, did you notice a difference in just your
Yeah,
energy levels?
honestly,
And
I do. I do. Because we talked about energy levels before,
yep.
and I probably need to retest that health chart. But I started doing pickup foods, and I was like, oh, it's healthy. Someone cooked this egg for me. Someone cooked this bacon for me. It's not fast food. It's just pickup from restaurants.
Yep.
But I didn't know how they cooked it. I don't know what's in whatever meat I ordered, or hamburger. Um, and I'll eat it. And I know that there would be some mornings, and I'll go to bed at 9, or at 10, and I'll wake up at 6, and I'll be like, what is like going on? I'm dreading. I feel gross. I just feel
Mhm.
gross. And I felt that the whole day, and I will always take a nap during my break. When I had break, no one takes a nap during break. I take a nap during break. If it was, if I had to drive to my apartment or go in my car, you would see me sleeping. And that's like, are you serious? Like, what's happening? What's going on? And I think it was my diet,
Yep.
what I was eating every day. And I was spending a lot of money on pickup orders.
Mhm.
And like, I have a premium membership on DoorDash that it got so bad that I had to be a premium member, and all that's gone now. But when I started like getting raw, like organic vegetables, um, I have a fruit shake in the morning now.
Mm.
I had to do a milkshake. I'll add some ice cream, but I'll make like a fruit shake and throw some spinach in there and whatnot. And I just started doing that. Whoa, my C went down. I just started doing that, but I seen a lot of changes
Yep.
because I didn't pick up orders for breakfast. So like, oh, I'm not gonna make time for breakfast. I'm gonna do a pickup order at First Watch or IHOP or delivery.
Mhm.
And then I'll eat it when I get out of the showers out front of my door, or I'm gonna go eat this real quick and get to work. And it was constant. So I got pickup orders. Since we're talking about it, I got pickup orders for breakfast and dinner. So
Mhm.
I was spending quite a bit of money, and there was nothing in my fridge. There was probably milk and juice and some snacks, but not a lot in my fridge. Now in my fridge, it's it's full, where I'm scared that I'm gonna get food spoiled and
Yeah.
rotten, and I don't want. But it's good that I have the raw vegetables, and then basil, like just like chicken cacciatore. Like, I just know that it's healthy for me. What I made and put in it, I know that it's healthy. I know the sauce is healthy. I know the chicken's healthy. I know that the chicken I bought is healthy. I know that the vegetables I bought, like, I know the ingredients,
Yep.
and that's what's important, that your brain knows, because we can eat anything. Anybody can eat anything. Like, this tastes great. I'm getting full now, but what you ate is going to play an effect later, because I
Oh
know
yeah.
it did to me. And not a lot of people think that, a lot of people think that they're invincible. I used to think that, and until I got my skull fracture, like, I'm invincible, I can never get sick. If it was COVID back then, I would be like, oh, I'll never get COVID. Forget that. But but no, it's um I'm I guess my point is that you're not in no one's invincible, and you got to take care of your health. you
Yep.
know Take care of yourself. You got to look out for yourself. you
Yeah.
know
So important. I totally agree. It's taking that time. I like to think of like making food for yourself as like a self-love act, right? Some people are
It
like,
is.
oh, that just takes so much time. It's like, so are you saying you're not worth the time? You know? You gotta
Exactly.
think about
Yeah,
it like that way. Like,
I can't
are
help.
you worth the time? Are you worth the money to put that good food? Like, spend a little more money on some organic food, right? And
That's right.
and like at the end of the day, right? Like you said, if you start not eating out as much, you're actually going to be saving some money too.
Yeah, a lot. I'm surprised how much money I actually have.
Yep.
Like, excuse me, I when I quit doing the delivery cold turkey, like no, I'm not doing it. When I get hungry, I am carrying myself to the grocery store. Like this is a quest, Chris. This is a journey. Like, if you can if you can make the time to play video games, you can make the time to go on a quest and a journey, a task, to go shopping and to collect these items that you need to have a fulfilling meal, and that was my reprogramming. And like I played video games a lot less, and which is good because
Mm-hmm.
it's you video games, they're for, it's like an arcade. You're there to get played and then you get bored, whatever. But I took the time to go get these items, I cook it at home, and I have a great fulfilling meal, and I feel satisfied and I feel good. And when I started doing that, I started feeling great about it. Like, man, I started enjoying going out to the store. Now I made a habit, like after work, I'm going to run to the grocery store to get what I need for dinner for tonight and start cooking dinner. And I'll put on some music and I'll listen to my station, or I'll put
Yep.
on some TV and I'll have a hangout. It's just hang out, if it's my own company or if my daughter's there, I'll talk to my dog too. It's great. And I think it is, grocery shopping and cooking is a self-love act. It definitely is self-love. And I think that's like an extra spice to that too, because you're not giving yourself that same attention when you do fast food or order it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it changes things. It really does change your whole dynamic. I mean, what you put into your body directly affects your mind, directly affects your all your organs in your body, like
Yeah.
it's a game changer, and I think that's one of the a really important part of overcoming self-sabotage is starting to put actually good things into your body, right? Because like that gives you back the energy.
Absolutely.
It helps clear out your mind, to start cutting back on caffeine. I know that's another thing you cut out on, right? Is
I
you
haven't
still
brought
cut
that
out on
up.
that still?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
It's mud water now. Gross. Yeah. I went to my dad's and it's like, here, looks like you had a rough night. Here, let me make you a cup of coffee. I'm like, I haven't had it for a while. It's like, yeah, sure. He's making it. I'm gonna have it out of respect. And I had a cup, and I was like, oh, gross. I was like, this is mud water. I can't. It's like, and I had lemonade. Had lemonade instead. I was like, I'll have the lemonade. Thank you though. But yeah,
Nice.
it's gross. And
Yep.
definitely like creamer. I heard creamer is bad for you, so it's a good thing I quit off of the coffee and the caffeine.
Definitely. Yeah,
So
it's a big thing a lot of people have. I know for sure. Can get you stuck in that negative energy cycle.
yeah, I see a lot of people stuck in the coffee cycle. That and my coworker is now trying to get off of coffee because I
Nice.
did, and his stomach has been sick, his gut, his stomach. Um, he just hasn't been feeling well. And I think he needs to talk to you, man. He spends too much time on video games.
Mhm.
But he drinks coffee and he got sick. And I said, it's the coffee. And he's like, I know, I want to quit. And then I got off of work. I said bye, and then I had to go walk across the street to drop off some mail at the post office. And then there's Ziggy's coffee across the way. I see him at Ziggy's coffee. I'm like, what happened with you quitting caffeine, man? You keep having these horrible poops and your stomach is always hurting. He's always calling out sick. And he's like, I just felt like drinking a caramel macchiato, whatever it was. And I was like, dude, man, like you gotta like stop. Just stop. It's like I'm not, I'm saying it because I'm your supervisor and I care about you. You keep calling in sick. Like just lay off the caffeine and just
Mhm.
heal your body. So he's trying to get off the caffeine. Like now I feel like I'm a little bit of his self-sabotage coach because he does fast food and he gets McDonald's and
Oh
he always
yeah.
calls sick. He's always calling in sick. I'm like, you need to stop with the fast food now.
Mhm.
Because I thought he was cooking at home with his brother because they would live with each other, but that's not the case. They would be playing games all day, eating junk food. And I'm like, ah, man, I'm like, what time did you go to bed? 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was
Uh-huh.
like, dude, you gotta get proper sleep. There's melatonin releasing in your brain at a certain time. I shared him that video. It's like you need I was like, you need to take care of your brain, dude. Like you need to really be on top of it.
Mhm.
Like you need to get a good amount of sleep. Like, what are you doing? Like these games can wait until tomorrow. You know,
Mhm.
they can wait. Like, why you need to stay up 2 a.m. doing what kind of quest? Like, who needs this sword of the island of Wakatui at 2 in the morning? You know, like stop it. Stop. It can wait tomorrow. They don't need it.
Yeah. No,
Silly.
yeah, I know. I used to be in that same kind of struggle where I'd be up till like 3 or 4 in the morning playing video games and like,
Oh, me too.
getting some Chick-fil-A and just not treating my body right. And when I look back at it on now, like when I was getting sick or had low energy, right? That's your body saying like, hey, you need to make some changes. There's like, I don't like this. Like your body's like sending the signals out, right? That's what the pain, that's what the sickness, that's what the depression is. It's just signals from your body saying it's time to make some changes. Like
Yeah, that's what
it's
it,
you know, like
it really is trying to tell you.
yeah, it's
Uh,
but I mean that's so awesome, Chris. I love to hear that you have been able to like use this information, start helping other people because that's really what my main goal is to try to help others, many people learn this information so they can just go out and share it with other people because the
yeah,
more
it's
about people
fun.
that know it, the more it's like that's how we're going to change the world is once we start people start to become aware of how their mind works, why they're not feeling good, how to kind of overcome that self-sabotage, then they're gonna get to that point where they're gonna be feeling good and they can help other people and it's gonna just be a continual cycle. But like your friend going back to the coffee right after telling you watch it, like that's a perfect example of self-sabotage, right? Like,
Yeah,
and
he
it's funny.
knows it. He knows it.
Uh,
There was a certain point where his subconscious kicked in, like, hey, you need your caffeine before you get on
mm-hmm.
your PC and play your games. Okay. So he didn't go home after work. He went straight to the coffee when
Nope.
he was just talking about how how horrible he feels with his gut, his stomach, his mad poops. Like, why would you go? You immediately just went back to what was bad for you. So, and I
I
think
mean,
a lot.
yeah. And that's why I think it's so awesome that you are being more aware of what's going on now, because like that's really how you start to overcome a lot of this stuff too, is just being more
Be
consciously aware, right?
aware.
Because I mean, 90 to 95% of your daily thoughts and actions just come subconsciously. So if you're not being aware of those things, then you're just going to keep going down the same path over and over and think there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
We have these
The,
goals of eating healthier, of getting rid of the caffeine, of starting to work out, but then we keep going back to the same spot because we're not aware of why we're doing it, right? So I
yeah.
think it's awesome that you are like it just shows like I remember when we talked before we worked together and now like it's a night and day difference. And I do gotta say, like, you were still working on yourself before you even talked. So like, it's not just like people have to want to make that change, right? And I think that's
Yeah.
something
You have
you've
to want
probably
it.
encountered too once you've learned this information. I wanted to share this information with as many people as possible. Some people just don't want to learn, and that's okay. They'll hopefully they'll come around when they're ready for it. But for the
Yeah.
people that do want to learn, there is a way forward. So if you are just done with that path, if someone listening and you are just like feeling like your life sucks, like you are ready to maybe hurt yourself, like you are just like not good enough, or there's something broken within inside of you, there is a way forward. There is a
There's,
way to
yeah.
overcome that feeling and to get to a point just like Chris has. where you know, are able to feel good every day, where you're able to wake up and feel like, yeah, this is going to be a great day. You know, make yourself some food, go home and spend some time with your daughter or, you know, your loved ones, and actually enjoy your day, right? Like, not feeling so stressed out, not chasing that chaotic energy, which I think so many people do, not just chilling yourself out and people pleasing and burning yourself out. There's a way to feel good about your life and to really enjoy it. So
That's right. That's right.
okay, so well, I'm gonna ask you one last question here, which I like to ask everyone. So for anyone who's out there right now who is in that point that we were just talking about, who's struggling, who may not be feeling the best about themselves, who think there might not even be a path forward, what would some of your advice be for them?
Um, Look at yourself in a third view mirror. Um, like, is this how you want to be remembered? Is this how you want your family to see you? Is this how, if you have kids, is this how you want your kids to remember you or to see you as? Um, like, it's you got to take from a third view perspective and to see yourself and how you're carrying yourself. It's like, do you really want to carry yourself like this? Do you really, like, because like what I'm thinking right now is how I was when I lived in Denver, when I was in a dark place. And it's completely opposite from who I am right now. And it took a lot of looking in the mirror and positive talk, like, I need to get out of this. I need to go, like, I can't be seen like this. I can't. I I just knew it was I knew what was good for me and I knew what was bad. And I knew what way I needed to go and direction. And that's when I reached out to Tanner, and I reached out to anyone that I knew that could help. And actually here I am, Tanner. um, and it helped me gain some of the tools to get out of the realm I was stuck in. Like, okay, and again, a third view mirror, like, I need to go, but you gotta, when you see yourself in that situation, you really do gotta find, you really do gotta find someone that has the tools out of those situations to provide you the tools you need to get you out of that positive talk, the positive energy, all of that the influence. And well, I was gonna add something to that. What motivated me, my daughter and living on my own and getting on my feet. um
Yeah.
I wanted to add something to that. I thought, unless I was just thinking, I wanted to add something. But it was a lot of reflection of myself and what needed to be done. Because, oh, I remember. So like how I want to be remembered, and how I want to, because you got to keep in, like, we're all souls in a body. Okay, like, I want to know where after death, where my physical body is going to be at. I don't want this body jumping off a 7-story building. I want this body to be in a beautiful casket in a piece of land I bought with a beautiful headstone. With that's where I want my body to be at in the afterlife. And that's that perspective. Like, do you really, like, when people are in a dark place and they want to harm themselves, it's like, is that really where you want to leave your body at? Is that really what you want to do to your body? Because your body can be in a lot better places. Like, I want my body to be at where people can go see my body and talk to me and pray to me, because that's where I'm at. That's the thinking I have now. And that's a lot to put into perspective. Is you have a beautiful soul. Everyone has a beautiful soul. You can. where do you want your be where do you want your physical body to be at after life?
Yeah. I think that's really powerful to do those kind of thought experiments where you think about, you know, what kind of legacy you're going to leave behind, like you know, what does your family or the people in your life see you as, right? You know,
Exactly.
where will you, you know, what will your life look like when it's done, right? Like what, you know, what was my legacy? Like what will other people think of me? Like how did I help the world? So I love that you're thinking like that. You're thinking, you know, looking at it from like a third point of view and looking down and saying, this is where I am now. Where do I need to go to get to where I, you know, want to be? Right. And I think that's super powerful. And I think that's some great advice.
At your funeral, and I know I'm a deep thinker. At your funeral, what do you want people to talk about? You
Yeah.
know, what do you want people to talk about with Christopher Cirrone? What do you want people to talk about with Tanner Dodge? And he's like, what? Like, you want to know that you did good, you tried, you did your best, and you know, you lived out a great legacy. You know, and that's that. You know, and if you give up your legacy, you're just gonna break a lot of hearts at your funeral, and there's just gonna be crushed. And I don't think anybody I don't think anybody wants to do that to anyone in their family or hurt them. You know, and that's a big thing to take in consideration is a lot of people that love and care about you, because if you know it or not, a lot of people will talk great about you behind your back. You know, a lot of people think the negative, and I think that's just human nature. But I know that behind people's back, that they're speaking positively about them too. You know, I'm sure someone right now is speaking good about me and good about you. You know, and I don't think the worst.
Yep. Yep. I love that. And it's something to be said for, you know, thinking about like doing those thought experiments, and not only that, but like thinking positively about yourself, right? And like just like you said, like your thinking, you know, over your whole experience has changed like drastically. And you know, oftentimes we're our own worst critic, right? We're just down on ourselves and beating ourselves up, and that has a major effect on our lives. That has a major effect on our day to day. That has a major effect on our emotions and our mindset, and just, you know, how we take on challenges. And the fact that you've gone to where you are, Chris, it's just, I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad that you've gone to here. I'm so glad you were able to come on this podcast and share your story. I know it can be a scary thing, and I'm glad that you put yourself out there, because I think a lot of people really can benefit from your story, and it's a very powerful one. So, you
I
know,
hope so.
keep sharing it, keep moving forward, and keep helping people. I love to see it. You know, you're a great guy, you're a great friend. I'm really glad to have you in my life.
And thank you, man. And then the same back. And for the people that are watching and listening, don't let nobody shame you. Don't let no one second question yourself. Don't let no one don't let no one slow you down from being you. Like, love yourself and feel comfortable with yourself regardless. You know, if find someone that loves you for who you are and accepts for who you are, you know. And I wish everybody happy relationship and all that. And I know with me, I've been through toxic relationships, and what I learned is don't let nobody second question you. Don't let no one convince you otherwise.
Mhm.
Your past is your past. If you choose to share this story or not, um, yeah, it's um, be you, be happy of being you, and don't fall apart because someone thinks someone is making you believe that you're a horrible human being.
Mhm.
Never let anyone convince you that you're horrible, you're lousy, you're not doing the best. Don't let nobody ever convince you of what we're already our worst critics on, because we don't need any of that negative energy hearing it. No one deserves to be talked down to like that,
Mhm.
you know, because I believe we personally we are already our own worst critics. We don't need that, you know. Just to give that little advice out to the listeners, you
Yeah.
know, keep your head up, keep going, if you're in a dark place, yeah, you know, you're important. The storm will pass. Fight through it. You know, the chapter. Don't let your story end. The chapter keeps on going. Let the story keep on going. Don't let it end. You know, because whatever you're going through right now, um, other people can benefit. Other people can learn, and you're growing from it too right now. You know, and never give up. Never give up. Never surrender. I don't know who said that, but don't.
Yeah, I totally agree. And use that, use your dark stories, use your dark past as like your superpower or something, you overcame. Like you overcame that. Like the fact that you're still here today, you should feel really good about that. The fact that you're still here and you are where you are, like that, you should feel really good about that because you are in a great spot.
Yeah, I'm blessed that I am here because let me tell you guys, when I was having lunch on the 7th floor at the apartment building I work at, I was really manifesting. I was really manifesting that bad, where I really started to believe that the suicide plan was going to happen, the suicide plan was going to work. And it didn't make any sense of the suicide plan. But I can't believe that I was in that dark of a place and that I'm out of it. And it really is. And I believe that anybody that's in a very dark place, that's on the edge right now, can make it out. Like if you're one of the people that's on the edge right now or feel like they're on the edge, don't give up. Like hang on. It's not over yet. Like believe me, trust me, it's not over yet. Fight, keep going. You know, it's in like, and I'm happy I'm alive today in that I didn't let my story end because I came across a lot of great things on my way, like within since Denver. It's been 2 years now. I learned a lot. I experienced a lot. I done a lot of great things within these the 2 years. And I'm happy how far I came from that deep end, that dark place to where I'm at now. And it's crazy. And I have faith in anyone that's feeling bad, feeling that they can't make it. Like you can make it, you can get out regardless. No matter what you're feeling, what you're going through, it's not forever. It's not forever, you know, and it's not too late, you know, it's not.
I love that. Yeah, we'll leave it there because that was just beautifully put. So thank you once again, Chris. I'm really grateful to have you on and for you to share your story. Everyone, make sure you like, give it a share, give it a comment. Don't hesitate to reach out if you are in that dark place. Both me and Chris can be here to talk with you. And yeah, just thank you guys once again for listening. Thank you once again for coming on, Chris.
Heck yeah, thanks a lot, Tanner.
Oh yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.